I'm here in the vet over at the lake. Went for a nice little drive. Wanted to review a couple things that I've done to the car over the last couple of days. First up is energy suspension, polyurethane bushings in the rear suspension. I did that the day before yesterday. Wasn't feeling good, didn't video it. Everything went in pretty nice. The one thing about those, you have to use the metal sleeves out of the original rubber bushings, and they can be a bit of a pain to get out. The instructions say to add a little heat and they should press right out as soon as the bond from the rubber breaks down. Yeah. Oh, and it also said that if you see any fire, you need to back off the heat because you're using too much heat. I had to freaking burn those suckers. I had a nice little fire going out, and once you got them like a well-done marshmallow, the inside would fall right out. But got them in there, took it for a drive yesterday with just the suspension bushings in. They were really nice. They helped with the wheel hop shutter a little bit. I could tell that they were a little bit better. Wasn't totally gone, but it was definitely better. And I couldn't notice any increase in NVH, the noise, vibration, harmonics that people talk about. And I am fairly sensitive to that. I don't want a bunch of vibration. I tried a set of engine mounts one time that I took right back out because it just ruined the experience of the car. So I didn't notice anything with the bushings. I do like them. They went in, like I said, in video it. If you want a video of me doing the front, just drop a line in the comments. I'm going to be doing those here in the next few weeks. The other thing I did on the back was the HPI differential mount. The one with the wings on it. Well, that's the only one they make, but it has the wings on it and the pads on it. I put that in. Definite increase in NVH. Not horrible. Not bad enough that I'm taking it out, but there was a noticeable difference. But after about 5 miles, I didn't really notice it anymore. As far as wheel hop, yeah, it made a very nice improvement. If you're on fairly smooth pavement, like smooth concrete, smooth blacktop, man, it just lights them up. No hop, no vibration at all. I tried it one time on a section of blacktop that was really nasty. And why did everything go dark? And it hopped pretty bad then, but I'm thinking anything's going to hop on that crap. And right now I'm trying to finish off a set of summer tires on the back that are just about bald. I'm going to put on my all seasons for the winter, and these aren't good enough to put back on next year. So I'm trying to finish them off before I take them off for good. But the mount seems to do its job. I mean, I have slid around. I've put about 50 miles on it so far, and I have had the traction control off the entire time, sliding every chance I got. And it's pretty smooth. Much smoother than before, because it was always just as soon as the traction would break loose, it was just a hop fest. So I am very impressed with what it does, because it's like 40 degrees out here today. And in my experience, high performance summer tires in cold weather causes a lot of hop anyway. So it's made that a lot better. So I am not at all regret putting it in there. Now, as far as the quality of the mount, as far as the way it's built, is fine. I actually ordered it straight from HPI, which was stupid because I could have got it a lot cheaper off eBay, but I just wasn't thinking. I think I may have drank a little beer at the time when I ordered it, and didn't look because I knew I wanted an HPI mount, and just bought it straight from the company. They sent the wrong bolts. The bolts that go up into the differential, there is a recessed hole for the head of the bolt to fit up in there. And they should have sent the kind of bolt that's got the smaller hex section for the socket with the wider washer surface underneath. Well, these are just the standard wide bolt, and it just barely fits down in the hole, so there's no way a socket's going to go on there. And it's like, well, son of a bitch. I'm pretty impatient, wanted to put it on. And it worked out better that I couldn't put it on last night because I got to try out the bushings and the diff brace separately, which turned out being good. But I checked all over town. I live in a small town. Nobody had any bolts that would work. So I was like, well, we'll just put this in the mill and we'll hog that hole out a little bit. Well, I was about halfway through hogging the first hole out, and the end mill broke. Just jacked the edge of the mound up, and I was just pissed and threw it on the shelf and left. And I come back, and then last night I was reading about that even with the right bolt, getting a socket in there in between the cradle, and that is a pain in the ass because you just don't have much room to work in that recess hole. So I took it out in the shop this morning and I just milled the whole area flat, the whole bottom of it. But it's not recessed anymore. You can just put a box end wrench on it, tighten it right up. So that kind of turned out good too, but in a roundabout way. But it'd be nice if they would have sent the right bolts with it. So it's I'm thinking win-win on both modifications. Wasn't too expensive. Next project, I got the parts in from Texas Driveline Performance. Got all the discs and everything for the differential, the limited slip. So we'll be adding that. Probably not real soon, but as soon as the weather turns south, we'll get a little snow. Yeah, I'll be putting that in. So be watching for that video. It's been about a week since I put in the rear polyurethane mounts and the new differential mount. Now I've got the front end. Wanted to do a review on that. Before I do that, I want to mention one other thing about the back end. If you're experiencing wheel hop, yes, the differential mount works good, but you also need to make sure that your motor mounts are in good shape. Because about a year ago, I was having even worse wheel hop and found out that one of my motor mounts on the lift, where it torques and on the lift side, was completely broke. So I put in new mounts. I just went with a stock replacement that's non-hydraulic, didn't have the goo in it. And seems to be working fine. They're still nice and firm. I check them every once in a while to make sure they're not broke. But you don't want to have a broken motor mount and then stick this reinforcement on the differential, because that's going to put twist in your whole drive line as you're accelerating. So just make sure all three, because it sets on 3 points, the 2 motor mounts and the differential mounts. You want to make sure all 3 of them are in good shape. Okay, on to the front suspension. I got all the bushings put in on the front control arms. Took it for a drive today. Absolutely perfect. There is no vibration, no harshness through the wheel. Everything is just great. Do I notice a serious improvement? No, not really. I mean, the car handled great before. It handles great now. One thing, it is like 30 degrees out here, and I have summer tires still on here, so I'm not thumping it really hard. So maybe over the summer I'll notice a more difference when I'm pushing it harder. I'm thumping it pretty good today, but not like I would in hot weather. But I have no problem with the bushings. I like them. They're a nice replacement. I would do it again in a heartbeat. But as far as I've seen some people do videos on them, and it's just like a night and day difference. And it's like, oh, I got a brand new car because I put they're not that good. They work fine. They do their job, but the factory ones were doing their job too. Mostly I put in the front because I put in the back, so everything would match. Mostly I put in the back because of the wheel hop, because when you're accelerating hard, it's forcing the wheel backwards, pulling on those control arms. So I figured I was getting more deflection with the rubber. And it did seem to help on the wheel hop, because I did that in 2 stages. Tried the bushings first, then the mount, and together they work excellent. So yes, I would put them in the front, but don't expect miracles unless your rubber ones are just totally destroyed and hanging out in chunks. But I would do it again. I like it. So there's really no downside to the bushing. So if you want to make the car a little better, why not? Just go for it. All right, I'm going to go drive. Got to get lunch. I'm about to starve to death. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.